Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, October 3rd, 2014. This is Jon Does the News on WSIN 1590. Hi, I'm Jon. Miss me? Well, it's been one heck of a week for news. But before I get to the news, I want to talk about the bands that I'm featuring on the show today. We got one song from The Enemy Is You. We're going to start the show off with that. And for the rest of the show, we're going to be listening to a band from Philly, Time Relapse. They're an awesome band. And they've got so much music to choose from. Luckily, I talked to one of their guys, and he gave me a list of awesome songs to play, because I was trying to listen to them all, and they're all great, but I was just like, hey, you got some favorites? And he gave me some, so. Anyways, we're going to be starting off with Burning Bridges, once again, by The Enemy Is You, a New Jersey band. They are currently working on their album, but this is their debut song. So, without further ado, Burning Bridges. And we are back. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Pretty awesome band. The Enemy Is You. They're from New Jersey. So, before we get to Time Relapse, I've got some news to talk about, folks. Some important news has been happening this week. The first Ebola case in the United States has been diagnosed in Dallas. It was from a Liberian man who traveled to the United States. Apparently he has family in North Carolina, and it's been an emotional struggle for them. So I couldn't imagine what it must be like to have Ebola. We're not Africa. We have a lot more resources at our disposal. The United States, if you think about it, is probably the best place to get diagnosed with Ebola. And so, not that you want to get Ebola, but if you're gonna get it, might as well get it in the United States, where we have the best medical treatment at our disposals. It just does horrible things. I don't even want to talk about the symptoms. Like, just Google the symptoms. These people, some people died. Horrible, horrible deaths. And it goes on for days. They're just in constant agony. And it's really bad because there's a stigma over there. People who get Ebola are treated poorly. They're just left in the streets to die, a lot of them. Or if they happen to beat it, there's still a stigma. Some people think that they can still get it even though they're not contagious anymore. It's a real problem, especially in Africa. But all these conspiracy theorists are just like, oh, there's going to be an Ebola outbreak in the United States, and it's controlled, and the government's planning it, and they're going to thin us out, man. They're going to thin us out. I can't stand conspiracy theorists. Like, they take just a nibble of truth and blow it up out of proportion and come up with these crazy conspiracies. But I won't go on. There is other news to talk about. For instance, ISIS. A recent UN report has said that the Islamic State has been committing staggering crimes in Iraq. Based on over 500 interviews with witnesses, there's been a lot of awful things that ISIS has been doing. They carry out mass executions. They abduct women and girls as sex slaves. They use child soldiers. It's awful, and they're barbaric, and personally I think we should freaking take them out. I'm usually not for war, but these people, they don't deserve to exist. They're super fundamentalist Islam, and I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. They behead United States journalists and people who relief workers who all they wanted to do was help, and they end up in a high definition beheading video on the internet, and that's how they're remembered. Disgusting. I think that's what originally got us to say, okay, we need to get involved. We need to start bombing these guys in Syria. We were only bombing them in Iraq, and I guess those hostages might be in Syria. Nobody knows. But recently more people joined the coalition against ISIS. Turkish lawmakers okay military action against ISIS. This is on CNN, written by Laura Smith, Chelsea J. Carter, and Gul Tayos, whatever. Turkey's lawmakers voted Thursday to authorize military force against the Islamic State terror group in Syria and Iraq, opening the doors to cooperation with a U.S.-led coalition going after ISIS as its fighters laid siege to towns just south of the Turkish border. The Turkish parliament voted 298 to 98 to not only to let the country's military leave its borders to go after ISIS and other terror groups, but to also allow foreign troops to launch operations from Turkey. The authorization takes effect Saturday. It is a big shift for Turkey, a NATO member, which until now offered tactic support, a U.S.-led coalition of about 40 nations going after ISIS in Iraq and Syria in various capacities. So, more people are jumping on the coalition against ISIS. So that's a good thing. Hopefully, they will be completely wiped out. It's disgusting. They have so much money at their disposal. People donate money to them because they believe in the cause. They capture these military bases and have military-grade weapons. They are a huge threat, and we need to do something about it. But you've heard me say that several times already, so it's time to move on to some music. Finally, we're going to play some Time Relapse. These guys are great. They are from Philly, and I'm going to read their bio real quick. Really great band. You know what? I'm going to read their bio after. Until then, we're going to take a trip with their song, Take a Trip. I hope you guys enjoy.
Maybe. Song about Take a Trip.
Oh, we could take a trip and maybe go to sing the message in the water now. We could bubble in the waves, satisfaction, distraction, and offset repair. Hoping all the frequencies collide into the part of me that matters now. And all the pointless skills of fun will just drift away. Weary travelers wake up slowly, learning of the box they've been inside of here. Float amongst the waves to feel the friction. Take no prisoners and stare at the wall. I don't mind if you take it away, but and I'd like to stay for a while. Maybe we could take a trip. Maybe we could take a trip. Maybe we could take a trip. Yeah. Oh, we could take a trip and maybe go to see the message. We could tweak it, we could fix it into everything we see. Hoping all the frequencies can even find my place to be right here in every moment I can take it on the sea. Hoping all the frequencies collide into the part of me, and hoping all the frequencies can find out where I am. Hoping all the frequencies collide into the part of me, and hoping everything can find me right inside my hand. I don't mind if you take it away, but and I'd like to stay for a while. Maybe we could take a trip. Maybe we could take a trip. Maybe we could take a trip.
And we are back. Hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. These guys are awesome. So, there's some more stuff to talk about in the news. I forgot to talk about this other thing that happened with Ebola. An NBC News freelancer in Africa was recently diagnosed with that. I'm a video production major, so that really that hits home for me, thinking about something like that. Imagine you are on the scene, you're a freelance cameraman, and you just want to get the story out. And someone pukes on you or something. You come in contact with the Ebola virus. And you get Ebola, and you're in Africa. Not a fun place to be. I hope this dude makes a full recovery, because Ebola's not fun, folks. I would not wish that on anybody. But anyways, got some more stuff to talk about. For instance, one thing that has really been trending, one story that has been trending, was about this 16-year-old boy. Well, he's probably 17 now, because it happened a year ago, apparently. But this news story is fresh, folks, and, well, he got into a threesome with two of his teachers. And I don't know how this kid managed to do that. I really don't think that those two teachers planned on this happening. I think this frickin' kid convinced these teachers to do that. Have you seen these teachers, by the way? They're not bad looking. Yeah, I know there's this double standard that everyone's been talking about in the news comments. If you've heard about this and you've read the comments, like, it's funny because it's usually split between men and women. Women are like, oh my god, they're so disgusting, I can't believe they'd ever do that and jeopardize their jobs, and all the guys are just like, oh yeah, nice. And I mean, it just blows my mind how this stuff could happen. I mean, why would these ladies do that, though? Those women do have a good point. Why would they jeopardize their job to get into a threesome with this 16-year-old kid? He's obviously gonna brag to his friends, and that's exactly how they got caught, because this kid was bragging to all of his friends. His hand's probably hurting from all the high fives he's been getting. Alright, now on to another topic. A more local topic for Connecticut people. A principal in Granby is now on paid leave because he's been making movies, like horror movies, risque horror movies. And they just decided to remove him right now. Send him on paid leave. I think that's ridiculous. All the local news stations in Connecticut are hyping this story up, and it's like, oh, you should really be worried about who's teaching your kids or who's in charge of your kids. But this dude didn't involve any high school kids. He did this on his own free time. And speaking as a video production major, making horror movies is not easy at all. Kudos to this guy. That's a really cool hobby to have. And it's not easy to be a principal and to do something like this. But I hope he goes back to doing his regular job, because it's ridiculous that he's on leave for just doing something that he likes outside of work. It's not like this guy's doing drugs outside of work, which doesn't really matter to me, personally. But anyways, George Zimmerman is in the news again. This dude gets in the news all the time. He was the guy who shot and killed Trayvon Martin, and this huge controversy came of it. There was a trial, and he was found not guilty of murder in the second degree. I just spent so much time last summer paying attention to this trial. It fascinated me. Murder trials fascinate me. I don't know if I'm sick for liking that stuff, but I got all into it. I looked at all the evidence and everything. At first, I'm like, wow, George Zimmerman, what a jerk. Like, he just killed this kid for, like, no reason. And there was this phone video going around, the 911 call. No, not the 911 call, the police dispatch call. And, yeah. No. Actually, it was the 911 call. I'm sorry. This happened last summer, so my memory is a little bit foggy. But there was this call, and in the background, there's screaming, like high-pitched screaming. A lot of people thought that was Trayvon being like, no, and then boom, boom, boom. Like, it actually didn't happen that way. When they brought voice analysts in, they couldn't say for sure if it was one or another, but an eyewitness said that he thought it was Zimmerman because Zimmerman was on the bottom getting beaten by Trayvon, apparently, according to this eyewitness, Jon Does. And there was no evidence against this guy. No evidence whatsoever. The media completely blew this thing out of proportion. It got people super freaking angry. And I was really disgusted with the media because they didn't wait. They didn't say more details to come. Because once the evidence came out, they were just like, wow, like, he was being assaulted and he shot the person who was assaulting him. I personally think race played little role in the actual shooting. Actions are what matter most, in my opinion. But, so, he got acquitted. And now, recently, the Justice Department said no civil rights charges. Because I wouldn't imagine that there would be, but I guess it was filed against them. So, this dude is not doing good, by the way. He is, I think he's unemployed right now. He's just in, I think, millions in dollars in debt because of this trial. That, in my opinion, never should have happened in the first place because there was never ever any evidence of murder. The prosecutor skipped the grand jury, brought this right to trial. I don't really know how she does it. Some crazy Florida loophole. I always get all fired up on that topic because I freaking called out of work a few times to listen to that trial. It's just, or I got coverage. It's like, man, I gotta watch the trial. Like, can you cover me, man? Like, this is when all the good stuff is happening. But, so we are going to listen to some more Time Relapse. I got a special request from one of Time Relapse's fans. I'm going to play Nowhere Left to Go. But before that, I want to read their band bio, or at least part of their band bio. Lee and Anthony began playing music together at Penn State University in early 2011, and after being pushed by friends and coworkers to pursue their musical interests, they began playing out and honing their sound. In order to record their self-titled debut album, they rented a house in northwestern Pennsylvania and spent 9 months writing, recording, and producing. The house ended up being infested with mold and sent Anthony to the hospital, almost killing him. However, the duo managed to get their album completed and printed just in time for its 2012 Cinco de Mayo release. Incorporating components of bands such as Led Zeppelin, Dave Matthews Band, Incubus, Pink Floyd, King Crimson, Dispatch, and Humphrey McGee. Time Relapse places an equal emphasis on every instrument, allowing each one to hold its own throughout their entire catalog. Next up, Nowhere Left to Go. Hope you enjoy.
just a bring on with the wind, the air has gone astray. This world is surely crazy. How could a man reach out his hand, show you such hate as humanity slips away, wondering where we went wrong? There's nowhere left to go. The people overflow with laws that need correcting. Thought that we were all the same team. No, there is no even flow. It's all or nothing. Can't you see what's yours is mine? Take your leave. It's not your time. Just go. Just go. Da-da-da. And no time is left to wait. Forget who you are, get in the car. Wait till your life as your life is blown away. This world is surely crazed. How could a man reach out his hand, show you such hate as humanity slips away, wondering where we went wrong? So there's nowhere left to go. The people overflow with laws that need correcting. Thought that we were on the same team. No, now there is no even flow. It's all or nothing. Can't you see what's yours is mine? Take your leave. It's not your time. Just go.
And we are back. I hope you enjoyed that as much as me. They are such a great band, incorporating a lot of different sounds. That's a really weird thing to say. Of course, they're a band. But anyways, on to some weird news. I love talking about weird news. It's one of my favorite things to do on this show. So this this next story. Have you ever heard weird methods for doing things, like toothpaste that cleans this thing out, or old wives' tale stuff. Anyways, I guess this lady in Colombia, she had to go to a local hospital to get help because, alright, here's the headline. Roots grow out of vagina after women uses potato as contraceptive. Yeah, you heard that right. I guess her mom told her that this was a great way to prevent yourself from getting pregnant. But just imagine that. You're on the toilet and you're doing your thing, and you notice some roots, And that's weird because roots aren't supposed to be there. Have you ever seen roots on a potato, though? Like, it's freaking freaky. It had to be painful. But that's why sex ed is so important, folks. So incredibly important. And when people don't have sex ed, they do weird things like putting potatoes in their vaginas to prevent themselves from getting pregnant. Yeah. 22 years old, this lady is. She's as old as me. Anyways, another thing that I want to talk about during this show is a very popular app. And this app is called Yik Yak. And Yik Yak is this way of making anonymous comments in your area, specifically for colleges. Like, let's say you were to download this application and you would see just a bunch of random comments, and they refresh every so often, as people are always on this, always posting. You can upvote the comments or you can downvote the comments. Anyone who's been on Reddit is familiar with a system like that. And you can reply as well. And some of the things on Yik Yak are just, they're not good. There's I've seen lots of racist stuff, lots of sexual stuff, the sexual stuff is kind of funny. Need some company tonight, and anyone want to come to my room right now? That'd be weird. I don't think anyone's actually ever gotten laid because of Yik Yak, because it's completely anonymous. You don't know who you're messing with, and giving out your own personal information on Yik Yak is really, really dumb. Why would you do that? You can get a bunch of prank phone calls. You can get a lot of Snapchats of dicks, or you can just, it's a bad thing. But our school, for anyone who's listening, this is Southern Connecticut State University. It doesn't seem like they're too fond of Yik Yak, and that's understandable because of all the terrible things that get said on it. And I mean, I gotta admit, I've had my fair share of yaks from Yik Yak, but some of them are kind of funny. I posted a few the other day. I got some good responses. One that I did was, does anyone else turn the lights off in your bathroom and get the shower going and pretend it's like the rainforest? Yeah, I'm weird. I like to do that. That's part of my morning routine before the shower. Turn the lights off. We're in the rainforest. It's a good way to start the day. But anyways, that is enough about Yik Yak. I got some more things to talk about. Apparently, a Secret Service agent was trying to impress a lady during Obama's 2012 presidential campaign. And a lady who was working for the Mitt Romney campaign. He thought he was being real cool by giving out President Obama's location, which is pretty terrible if you think about it, that they would do such a thing, because you know what their one job is? Their one really important job? To protect the freaking president. And you're giving out this dude's location for a lady? And apparently they checked out the schedule, and it was later proven correct. I don't know what's going to happen to this dude. I hope he gets fired, because that's just some reckless behavior. Can't be doing that. I'm not a big Obama fan. I'm just, commenting on it. Not that I really hate the dude. I freaking go on Facebook every day, and I have some older friends, and what is it about old conservative people? They just don't understand the internet at all. They do memes wrong. Anyone who's familiar with memes, Does it make you a little bit uncomfortable when an old person is trying to use a meme? It's one of those things that really, I guess, grind my gears, for lack of a better term. Old people, if you don't know how to use the internet, don't use the internet. Anyways, another weird story. A testicular cancer survivor quits his job and sells his home to roll a giant ball across America. Now that may be a little silly, but this guy, Thomas Cantley, he's 31, and he survived testicular cancer. Now what he's doing is he's rolling this ball, and he's getting messages from people. He's posting pictures on Instagram. It's, if you want to look him up, it's Mr.Ballsy. So, apparently he's done 1,680 miles from LA to Texas, which is freaking crazy, man. Like, what an athletic dude. Good cause, too, but quitting your job and selling your home. I hope his life works out after he gets back. But anyways, that's enough news for now. Let's get back to some awesome Time Relapse. I've got one of the guys calling in right after this song. We're going to do a little interview, an impromptu interview. So for all you Time Relapse fans, you are in for a treat. But until then, we are going to play one of their songs. This is another request by a Time Relapse fan, Stolen, Part 2. I really hope you enjoy.
Was it safe to make camp here? My path erased, is my future sealed? In all my days, through all my thoughts, I laugh unfazed. Regret me not, I fear I've fallen by now, or else I've stolen myself to drift away. I see I'm losing my ground, but then it all turns to dust along the way, yeah. I feel it forcing me down, even the sun only lives a longer day. I would have fallen by now, or else I've stolen myself to drift away. Was I born to get away? Or was it raised inside my head until it grew into a cell? Are we forced into the cage? We always find with all we have, and then we throw it all away. Throw it all away.
One second, dude. And we are back. And I got Anthony right here on the line. And I'm going to patch him in right now. Say hi, Anthony.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, wait. Okay, now I got you in. Sorry.
All right, how you doing, John? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, there we go. It is great to have you on, Anthony. You are rocking. I really, really love your stuff. You guys know what you're doing.
Hopefully. We're trying to. I mean, I went to school for music, and he's a pretty talented songwriter, so hopefully we're doing something right.
Yeah, well, you definitely are. You got so many songs, man. Like, you're just pushing them out, and they're good quality.
Oh, well, thank you. I actually went to school for musical production, so all the stuff that you're listening to, all of our albums, No, We Are Not Rich, We Are Completely Broke, so we have to record all our own stuff. So we have our own built studio in a basement, and we go in and record all our stuff, and I end up mixing and producing everything. So it's a lot of hard work, so it's nice to hear that, you know, somebody's appreciating what we're doing outside of the state of Pennsylvania, too.
Yeah, man. It's, oh, man, I don't know how you do it. Do you have another job outside of the band?
We kind of do odd jobs here and there. We worked at Red Lobster for a little while, and then we moved to Philly, and now my buddy's actually back at Red Lobster, so we kind of, like, pick and choose if we do little jobs. I work on the side and sell, like, refinished basements for Owens Corning and, like, little things like that, like if I have to pick up a server job. But when we were in Philly, we did it for a year and a half without jobs, and then right now I'm working maybe, like, 15 hours a week, and I'm still able to do music mostly. So it's, you know, you got to do whatever you got to do to get it done, I guess.
Yeah, man, it's really hard. I got friends who are in a band, and one of the toughest things that they have to deal with is just scheduling. Everyone's got different lives, and they live so one of them lives like 45 minutes away from like the rest of the band members, and they have to come together. They practice once a week. How often do you guys practice and come up with new material?
Well, when we used to live together, we would probably be playing 3-4 hours a day nonstop. So really, whenever we have an opportunity, luckily there's only two of us that do all the instruments, everything you're hearing is done by the two of us. So we'll go in and multi-layer track things and all that kind of stuff. So really, it's very variable. Right now, we're not doing as much because we're about an hour and a half away from each other. Oh, wow. So we're really just on like a show schedule. But like our recording schedule will change just depending on where we're living and stuff. So we're possibly moving to New York. So if we both move to New York together, then then we might be recording all the time. But we still will manage to get out an album every 2 months, 3 months, something like that. Right now I'm working on 3 right now, and we just released 4 of them in the beginning of August, mid-August. We released 4 albums at once. So it's really variable, but we always make sure that there's time for practice and recording because it's honestly our favorite thing to do.
Wow, it sounds like it. So do you have any shows coming up lately that you want to, promote on the air?
Yeah, sure. I mean, not in the Connecticut area, unfortunately, but right now, there's a big wine fest in my area in Coltmont on October 11th, and we're playing this place called the End Zone afterwards. So there's going to be a lot of people there. That'll be a good time. But our big show, we're playing the Festival of the Dead, and we're the headliners on October 25th on Saturday. It's in Hokies Grove, which is in smack dab the middle of Pennsylvania. So if anybody's listening from Pennsylvania, you definitely check it out. There's like 21 bands, and we're doing 3 sets at the end of the night. So we have like 4.5 hours, and it's always a good time. Everybody dresses up, and we even have fire performers, like people spinning hoops of fire and throwing stuff up in the air and stuff. They're like live music visualizers. So we have them come out for that show. So it's always a really good time. So we're expecting 200, 300, 400 people on Saturday night. So you know what I mean? But I always say you can always go to TimeRelapse.com. All our music, you can stream it for free or you can download it for $1. So can't beat that, right?
You really can't beat that. And this is quality stuff right here. It's definitely worth a freaking $1. And so thank you for joining me on the air. If you come to New York, it'd be really cool if you came down here. And I know there's people who would love to interview you guys. I showed your music to a lot of other people, and everyone had nothing but good things to say about you. And New Haven really isn't that far away from New York, so maybe we can get together sometime in the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe I can grab me and we can come do an acoustic show in studio or something like that and figure something out. We can kind of split a day where we have something to do in New York and then take the next day off or something like that and try to get it, be on time for your show and all that kind of stuff. We can figure something out for sure. I mean, we're really down at anybody that appreciates good music or is going to be appreciative. You know, we're willing to travel, all that kind of stuff. So.
All right. Thank you so much once again. I'm going to play another one of your songs. Next one coming up is The Wasted Ones. Anthony, pleasure having you.
Thanks again, John. We really appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Thanks.
All right. The Wasted Ones coming your way right now on WSIN Radio 1590.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, there you come alive and coming alive.
They definitely came alive right there. They are awesome. I really like how they incorporate the djembe, man. The djembe is just such a freaking awesome drum. So much fun to play. Me and my friends like to jam by the campfire. You know, play a little guitar, and then someone has djembe, and then someone gets mad because the djembe is really loud, and they're like, hey, you gotta stop that, and then we have to stop jamming, and it's not fun, and that's when we start drinking, and that's when things get a little bit crazy. But anyways, I regret to inform you guys that there will be no Jon Does the News next week. Unfortunately, I can't be here. I gotta go to the dentist. I gotta get a crowning. I just had a root canal a few weeks ago. People, take care of your teeth. Take care of your freaking teeth, because otherwise you gotta get a root canal, and root canals aren't fun. They're not cheap either if you don't have good dental insurance. And just freaking brush your teeth every night and floss. People don't floss. Just floss. Like, always have some floss. Do it before you go to bed. Get that plaque out of your teeth, because otherwise, and freaking go to your dentist cleanings. I went to the dentist when my tooth was hurting. I freaking bit into something and my tooth chipped off, like a huge part of it chipped off, and it scared the crap out of me. You know, like, big part of your tooth is gone. I looked in the mirror, I was like, and I freaking, it freaked me out, man. And I didn't feel anything, and I go to the dentist, and the dentist's like, oh, are you feeling any pain? And I'm like, no, I don't feel anything. He's like, oh, that's not good, because if you're feeling some pain, then that means the nerve was still alive. And so the nerve was completely dead. And he's like, well, maybe if you came to a cleaning within the last 2 years, then maybe you wouldn't have this root canal problem. So he suggested either that I needed to get a root canal, or that I needed to get it removed. If I got it removed, all the teeth would keep growing in all wacky, and my mouth would be weird. So I just got the root canal. It really wasn't that bad. But yeah, I had to make 2 visits because I got weird, complicated canals, and I'm talking about my root canal too much. But anyways, no show next week. Yeah. That's, I guess, all I wanted to say. That, and freaking brush your teeth and take care of your teeth, folks. Otherwise, you'll end up like me. And you don't want to end up like me. But I'm going to close out the show with some more Time Relapse. This one is called The Wasted Ones. And it was actually the first song that I ever listened to them, when I first listened to them, and that's where I got all these awesome comments about them. Hey, they're really good. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to feature them on my show. So, Anthony and Lee, great job. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm out, folks. And remember, read some news. Sorry, folks, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. I don't like technical difficulties. But anyways, I guess we're going to play another one of their songs. I think we are going to play Start Again. So, and we're going to play Start Again at the end. Like I said, folks, read some news. I'll see you 2 weeks from now.
Thank you.
Out of hollering.